I'm Lawrence.
I'm Nick.
Welcome to the Nick and Lawrence Show.
All right, so happy 50th anniversary.
To a lot of things.
To what, you might ask? Well, we're going to talk about that. So, let's just get into it. Lawrence is the 50th anniversary expert. Actually, he come to find out, there was a lot of things that originated from 1969. So we're going to go through that and talk about some of our favorites, some of the nostalgia that came out in 1969 that is still around today.
They were part of our childhood our parents got us into and stuff. And then there's other things that are just things that we've kind of enjoyed.
Yep. All right. So why don't we just dive right into it?
Sounds good.
So what do we got?
Okay, so I was looking at a lot of lists. I picked out 3 things we can talk about. But number 1, did you know that the Spaghetti Factory is 50 years old?
The old Spaghetti Factory?
The old Spaghetti Factory.
So back then it was just the Spaghetti Factory.
No, it was the old Spaghetti Factory, but
it was new. It was the new old Spaghetti Factory.
New Spaghetti Factory, but but there's a restaurant, for those of you who are watching our vlog, that I'm pretty sure that it goes coast to coast. So if you have one in your area around the United States, that started in '69, that was a popular restaurant. So I thought I'd start off with a, did you know? And
that's cool.
Start with that. So
50 years, huh?
50 years, and then of course Nick and I were talking about the Haunted Mansion. I'm not sure if it's now or if it's at some point within the next few months. The Haunted Mansion at Disneyland is getting ready to do 50th as well. I've seen some articles here and there saying that it's getting ready to turn 50. So but I think the 3 television shows that we kind of grew up on, that our parents either saw or saw later on, or maybe they were too old to see it, we're coming out just in '69. What we have here is we have Sesame Street, Scooby Doo, and the Brady Bunch.
Okay, yeah.
And they're all right in the timeline of when they were happening, and we'll kind of talk basically about those. And then let's see, the other thing that was 50 has been 50 years is Neil Armstrong's walking the moon landing. Neither of us got to see, but we've heard about it in documentaries, and
that was celebrated last month
in June.
Yeah. So that just came up, which I'm sure you heard about, or if you were there, that was cool too. But that'd be
it's
pretty cool.
Always fun to hear people's stories about that and stuff. Our parents or grandparents or.
Okay.
So that was another
thing. So just to kind of stick with the nostalgic theme, let's talk about these 3.
Yeah, because these are part of our childhood and stuff. Or at least Sesame Street and Scooby Doo for sure.
Yeah, Brady Bunch was reruns.
Reruns, of course, yeah. But Scooby Doo was doing spin-offs in Sesame Street, which is the longest running show up to date.
Yeah, it's still on.
It's still on. So.
And they haven't aged a day.
Yep. So I brought Sesame Street. This is the volume 1. This came out back in 2005 as they were doing, several installments. And what you get on the old school set that I think is pretty cool of Sesame Street is you get like the premieres of the first 5 seasons from 69 to 74.
Okay.
And so it's kind of cool to go back and look at Sesame Street and think about Oscar the Grouch not being green. He started off as an orange Grouch for the first 130 episodes of Sesame Street.
Okay. Wow.
So
that's a lot.
So they made 130. I think they did that for the first 20 years, and as time has gone on, they were kind of slowly has gone down, and in the number of programs they've done, because they can repeat some shows or
So why did they change his color? Was it intentional? Like he was new in the beginning, and then over the years he became grouchier?
I don't know, because he just automatically turned green the second season. On the first premiere, you just see him green, and I haven't been able to find shows later on just to say, to see what happened. He just was orange, by the end of the first season, and when they came back to do the show the following November of 1970. He was automatically, he had gone from orange to green. Oh, wow. So the story that some people have given him is that Oscar Grouch went on on a summer vacation someplace and gone to his favorite swamp and got green. So that's the story that they've given. But
Okay, that's fun. Yeah, that's quite a long-running show. I watched it. I think most kids watched it. It was just kind of a staple of most homes.
Yeah.
If you watched PBS, if you had television, Sesame Street was one of those things that we probably all watched. And so, do you know if they're doing anything to celebrate the 50th?
I've heard little things in here. I had a 40th anniversary that I bought 10 years ago for their 40th that had clips, and it sounds like they're going to probably do that again. I've got this huge coffee table book that tells the whole history of Sesame Street when they were celebrating their 40th, but now this is the big one. Carol Spinney, who did Big Bird, as you can see on the cover here, when they finished taping the whole 50th anniversary, he went into retirement, so they pre-recorded his voice off camera, and they had their his understudy Matt Vogel be in the bird suit. So he did all of his work on the set in a chair because he's been having some illnesses and health issues lately. But he will be doing Big Bird for the 50th year, but that'll be his last thing he'll do, and then starting in the year 2021 or 2020, the fall of 2020, when they start taping everything else for their 51st season, if they go that far, Matt Vogel will then go and do Big Bird's voice and do the whole bird suit. But for the 50th, they kind of had they did it together.
Okay, interesting. Okay, well, any other fun facts about Sesame Street? Or we can go into Scooby Doo.
We probably go into Scooby Doo. I mean,
okay, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, Scooby Doo, and we kind of talked a little bit about it in our cartoon thing, but it's coming up on its 50th as well. I got this complete first and second season. My understanding from Wikipedia is that I guess these are the only two original seasons that were ever really done for the show. I think they did a third season and it became a syndicated show after that. So they had like a first season that didn't do all that great, and then I guess the third season kind of became what's called the Scooby Doo show. I went and watched, thinking, they must have made a long running series, and I think it only really got 2 seasons and then got the bootleg, and then they kind of went back and just made shows. But I guess the first episode of the third season was called Scooby Doo, Where Are You? And then it went and I guess they changed the name and stuff, and you can tell that the cartoon intro is not the same as the first season.
Okay.
So it really did. I mean, I like the show. I've always have, and it sounds like you did too. And
but that's interesting, because if you think about it, there weren't that many episodes. Like, I remember watching them, and like the old ones, the original ones, where it was the original like show, I guess, basically. That kind of makes sense. That if you think about it, after the 3 seasons basically, 2-3 seasons, it went on in syndication, and then they brought it back in when young Scooby Doo and some newer Scooby Doo cartoons, like on what was it, Cartoon Network?
Cartoon Network.
And then Scooby Doo movies, obviously, and they've had if you subscribe to Boomerang, the streaming service for cartoons, Hanna-Barbera, and all that kind of stuff, they have Scooby Doo and Batman, Scooby Doo, a lot of new Scooby Doo movies, where they're all going on some adventure.
The Scooby Doo franchise, just like, this has nothing to do with 50th anniversary stuff, but it seems like Scooby Doo and the Flintstones are probably two of the highest Hanna-Barbera cartoons that get remade into multiple shows and stuff. I mean, Flintstones, I just heard, is coming to a TV station called MeTV, and they're gonna bring that in the fall so people can relive that if they can't buy the DVDs or the streaming service. But it just shows you that this and Flintstones are like the two shows that have been made into movies and live action stuff and all of that stuff. Even though, I'm looking at the box here, and it's just at the bottom you can kind of see where it says 25 episodes. It shows you how many episodes between the two seasons there really were.
Not that many, yeah.
Not that many, so it definitely kind of... but it's amazing that here they are, 50. I think in somebody's review, I think it ranked at number 49 on their list of the of things that happened in 1969. So it wasn't on top, but Brady Bunch and Sesame Street were like in the top 5 of somebody's review list.
Oh, okay.
So
well, Scooby Doo would be in my top 5,
right.
for sure. Okay, well, let's go into Brady Bunch, because that's a little different. So we have kind of a preschool show, then a young kids, and then like teenager and adult show.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, it's the one. I guess I keep forgetting that Scooby Doo doesn't match up to the Flintstones in that way, because the Flintstones was more adult, like the Simpsons was. I mean, Simpson came in, following that. But I put this in a Ziploc bag of some Nick while we were rehearsing. I put it in because the box kind of was falling apart and stuff. But it's it came in this is the complete shag carpet the way. But I thought it was a cool box that I got at Christmas. I mean, this is like the complete set, and they ran for 5 seasons. It's funny to think that we're talking in Hanna-Barbera, kind of Sherwood Schwartz, and to think that some shows did it really well and some shows didn't. And Brady Bunch is third charm, because Gilligan's Island was kind of the second. I think he had a couple of other shows, but Gilligan's Island was like the second show that I know of. But the Brady Bunch became the show that lasted for 5 seasons.
Gilligan's Island lasted
3 seasons.
3, yeah.
But
it was still popular.
Yeah. But it got canceled due to Gunsmoke and other shows that were... But the Brady Bunch is kind of fun, and
that was a fun show.
And this box set had, just like we were talking with Scooby Doo, kind of a long-running history. I mean, it had variety shows added on to it. It had an animated series. It led off to a very, we think of it now as a family show that kids could watch today, but they made in the 1990s, I don't know if you remember this, but they actually made the show called The Brady's. And it didn't do so well on CBS, but it was really a very, very adult show compared to what it was when it came on in the 60s and 70s, when our parents and grandparents would have been watching it.
Yeah.
And so you had a lot of different things of it. Like Marcia had problems with, drinking problem in this version. Things you would never expect from the Brady Bunch. But Bobby Brady goes and does the Indian 500 and has a car wreck and ends up being paralyzed.
Oh wow.
So things that we don't know about the Bradys until we see the the reunion show and stuff. But but they kept us knowing, okay, this is what happened to Bobby and Cindy and Alice and even Mike and Carol and stuff. And it was kind of nice to know that some of the shows that they did bring, even though Robert Reed, who played Mike Brady, got fired because he had an argument with the producer of the show, and he wasn't in the very last episode, but he came back for reunion specials, and so it wasn't like his character was totally gone. He was just gone for one episode of the whole run.
Oh, okay.
And so Carol Brady kind of had to take all the lines between her character and Florence Henderson was the actress, but she did the roles for both Robert Reed and her, and so. Fun little trivia things I didn't know until I, listened to commentary and all that stuff.
And Mike Brady was the dad?
He was the dad, yeah.
Yeah, and he died, right?
Yeah, he died shortly after they did their the Brady show that they did in the 90s that didn't do so well anyway.
Yeah, but all the rest of them are still alive.
Yeah, but like I said, in this box, well, now we have all six of the kids are still living. In fact, because this is the 50th anniversary, the house, the house we see at the beginning of the show, and then the facade that's in L.A. was going to get torn down to be, I think, used for parking lots or something. There was a whole big story.
Is it at Universal, or where is it at?
Oh, the house. Well, it was a real house.
Oh, it's just.
Yeah, it was somebody's house. That they were using the facade, like the Full House house.
Oh yeah.
Kind of a thing.
Okay.
And so they have the film things in certain areas where they filmed in Los Angeles. This house that they thought would be perfect for the Brady home that Mike Brady would build or something.
Mm-hmm. Architect, yeah.
Architect. But it's kind of fun to Well, so what happened about a year or so ago was that they were gonna tear down that house. Nobody was buying it. It was, I think it was like $1 million plus or something for that area. And so somebody was gonna just turn it into. I think they were gonna turn the whole area into like a parking lot or something. I don't know what they were gonna do to that neighborhood, that real neighborhood.
Yeah.
But somebody decided they would pay the debt for this house and stuff, and then I think somehow, some way, one or two of the original, I think it was I can't remember. I think it was the person playing Marcia bought the house. I think it was like a battle of who was going to buy it. It was like I think it was what's the guy from NSYNC, the main singer or something. I can't think of his name at the moment.
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah, Jim. Oh. It was between him and the person who played Marcia Brady, and they were going to buy this house. She won the bid on the house and stuff, and now I think there's a
like museum.
No, there's going to be there's a channel, a cable channel, I think it's HGTV or something like that specializes in like home and gardening or something like that. And so they've taken the liberty of turning this house into the facade that it was in 1969, like the Brady's would have lived in. And so all of the actors and actresses, the kids that are living, because Robert Reed and Flores Henderson and Amby Davis, who were the actors and actresses who play Mike Brady, Carol Brady, and Alice, the housekeeper, have all since passed away. So it's the 6 kids now. And of course, Sherwood Schwartz has since passed away. And so the 6 kids are working to make a reality TV show to bring that house we just saw at the beginning and ending and any other segments in the show. And they're going to just bring the inside of the house to look like the actual Brady house, even though that probably never looked like that in real life.
Oh, that's fun.
And so they're doing a whole reality show in September, and it's going to be perfect timing when the Brady's turn 50. So it's kind of really cool.
That is cool.
Say, hey, here's where we are now.
Yeah.
So see all the I think Mike Lucaland and the other actors. That's the only name I can pull off the top of my head. He was Bobby Brady, but. I mean, I can tell you the characters off the hand, and but it was easier to know some of the main names. Robert Reed and Florence Henderson were big names because they'd done other work and stuff. But because they were just the kids, it's like all I can think of is Mike Lucaland, who played Bobby Brady, and that's the only name that I think Marcia McCormick was the last. It's been a while to check on a lot of those.
Well, anyways, if you want to know the real names, you can look it up online.
Yeah, or we'll put a link in the. Yeah. But yeah, so this so it said has a really cool, 117 episodes, plus one of the shows that they did in the 90s, and they did a couple of animated series on the bonus discs, including their Christmas reunion in 1988.
Cool.
So a lot of cool, fun.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Fun, nostalgic stuff.
Well,
yeah.
I think
we've covered
for this episode. That's we didn't have 50 years to cover everything, so we just had a couple minutes. But I think that our time's up for this one. However. We will leave a couple links in the description of some other things that were 50. Like we'll do that list you talked about. Share that about top 50 from 50 years ago.
I think what we'll do is as we go on in the next couple months, maybe we'll do something. I mean, like we were saying, we may come back and we might revisit a couple of the things we didn't have time to. We want to give kind of a brief thing, and then I think one of the things that Nick and I are talking about as we do this video is to do 1-year anniversary, because we're coming up on that.
Yep. So look forward to that. Yep. And so let us know 50th anniversary stuff in the comments, and as always, subscribe to our channel, click the like button and the notification bell to be notified of our videos. And until next time, I'm Nick.
I'm Lawrence.
I'll see you later.
See you next time.
All right, bye.